I don't think the government have made a hero or a criminal or a villain of Lucy Connolly. They're stupid. They've made a martyr of her, and I don't think, personally, I agree.
Why the government? Why do you say the government?
Well, because I want to make 2 points, right? One's quite controversial, but the main thing is we've had this conversation before. She was coerced. It's as simple as that. She was coerced into pleading guilty. Had she gone in front of a trial, a jury, they would never.
Why do you say she was coerced?
Found her guilt because she was had a bail turned down. She didn't get bail. How on earth does somebody who isn't a danger and isn't a flight risk, they're the 2 things you have to tick, right? How on earth was she not given bail?
Well, we spoke to a lawyer earlier who said there's lots of reasons you can not be given bail.
I agree. I know, and it's a bold decision to come on after a lawyer and talk about points of law.
No, it's a fine one, Dan. We're a democracy, mate. We can talk about what we like.
There are good lawyers and there are bad lawyers, right? And he's saying what he thinks, right? But at the end of the day, the judge, we're all in agreement, was a harsh judge, which means potentially he's a bad judge. And she should never have got that much time, but she should never have had bail turned down. She should have been on bail. Had she been on bail, she'd have had excellent legal advice. She'd have had the courage to fight the trial from, because
she could still get that legal advice when on bail. I mean, she could have got that legal
staring down
advice.
The face, when you're on, I don't know if you've ever been in any trouble with the law, she's staring down the face of up to 6 months on remand. All right, if she's not getting bail, that means she's already in jail. That means the process becomes the punishment, and that shouldn't be the case. But if that's often the case with bail, isn't it? I agree with you, and bail can be a real stinker for those people who, and every day in this country somebody gets turned down for bail, and folks scratch their heads for different reasons. But so I get what you're saying there. But her old man is a Tory councillor, right? A professional man as well. I'm sure she went to Oxford, I think, or Cambridge. So between the two of them, I'm pretty sure they could have said, right, we need to get a really good lawyer on this and see. All right, well, there's the point I've made. I stand by it. We could talk about it all day. She should never have been turned down bail. It's as simple as that. The whole thing would have been different. The judge wouldn't have got near it had it been gone in front of a jury. As simple as that. It wouldn't have been the judge's choice. The jury would have just said, not guilty, next. That's it. That's just the way it would have been. And the proof is in the pudding as of the other people that did plead not guilty. The second point I'd really love to make is that all the talk around her, you guys are guilty of this as well, sensationalised it. 2 things I'd like to say. One is everyone clutching their pearls saying what a disgusting thing it was she said. Most people, normal working class people up and down the country, didn't bat an eyelid at what she said because they know she didn't mean it. It was just an outburst of absolute apoplectic rage. No one cared about what she said. No one was clutching their pearls saying, but did you hear what she wrote? No one cared.
But you wrote, well, you say no one cared. I mean, we don't know how many people cared. You don't know, I don't know. But the fact is, I suppose, which is the wider question then, Dan, should there be such a thing as a criminal offence for something you write on Twitter?
Well, I'll tell you what there should be a criminal offence for, and this is the second thing. One of your colleagues, I won't mention his name because he's not here to defend himself, but if he said it once, he said it a million times. I'm not defending Lucy Connolly and the terrible things she said about the Muslim community. She didn't mention the Muslim community. She didn't mention them once. She said about people in hotels. And he said it over and over and over again. The terrible things she said about the Muslim community, you know who it was, because he said it every day for weeks. I rang up a million times trying to say, why do you keep saying that?
She didn't. She said mass deportation. Now, you could extrapolate that perhaps proportionally there might be more Muslims in that situation because of the countries that they've come from, but actually, when it comes to illegal immigration, there's a variety of countries. But I mean, I take your point. Yeah, I can't answer that. But you're right. It wasn't. She didn't mention Muslims at all. She said mass deportations. Now set fire to all the effing hotels with all the bleeps in it. The question, I guess, Dan, is should that kind of text? Are you saying that should never be illegal?
No, right. Vicky Jones shouldn't be in jail. She should never have been in jail. Had she said, right, listen, guys, we're going to meet up at 8 o'clock. We're going to go down to the King's Hotel, and I've got the matches. Someone bring the.
I get that.
This out.
But if you're a judge going, did this tweet potentially have an impact on people? We will never know, will we?
Well, all I can do is gauge the real people that I know in pubs, on sites, at work. The people.
Yeah, but hundreds of people did go out and tear the place up. That's the point.
Yeah, but they were doing that already. Well, a tweet went out when that was already happening.
Well, a tweet went out. I think I'm right in saying a tweet went out on the 29th of July, and I think the riotous stuff started later that evening. But anyway, who knows? You're right. I wouldn't. Yeah, but everything we're talking about, Dan, proves the point of a jury, right? Because if there was a jury, all of this, what we're chatting about now, would come out, and everyone on that jury would go, well, there's no way we can ever prove, because, you know, it's all about the Ricky Jones jury were told, can you be absolutely sure that this bloke wanted people's throats cut? And the jury would have gone, well, no, not really. So that's why he got a not guilty. And the same with this. I think people would have gone, did she really mean that? Do you really believe that? That people suddenly mobilise themselves with a box of Swan Vestas after they read? Of course, you're bang on that point. Dan, I love it. Very robust call from Dan in Portsmouth. Thank you to him.